1. Alright, man. I'm Zeneye, he's CaptainMigraine. We got one final match between Enoch 84 and Satan's Dildo here. Both players have won one game. This is the tiebreaker as far as us bad shoutcasters are concerned. Not going in chronological order because we dare to be different. Anyway, what do you think? Predictions on this map? Whose map is it? Who likes it more?
I want to say that Sid, aka Satan's Dildo, he's generally better at smaller scale maps, and Remorse is definitely a smaller map, so I would say it's in his favor. Enoch, he's more of a hit scan player, more of a combo player. So maybe I mean, it's hard to say, but we'll definitely see some good action on this map.
Okay, well, let's see what happens. I am going to start the demo in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, here we go. Final match between Enoch 84 and Satan's Dildo, even though it's actually probably the first match. We'll see what happens. I'm starting following Enoch. Enoch gets rockets in Link, grabs a mini. Leaves some minigun around. Satan is nowhere near it, but both players starting defensively again, just looking to pick up weapons. Don't want to be too aggressive until that shield spawns. Ooh, Satan with some sneaky snipers. Does not hit though, or did they? Yeah, they did.
Yeah, both of them hit. Took them down very low. Very devastating sniper shots there.
Hit sounds didn't register on my screen because why would they? Ooh, good rocket from Enoch.
Belt's getting ready to spawn. Looks like
Belt should be
Enoch and Satan are... Well, Satan's kind of being cautious over there.
Yep, he knows he's up there. Satan had that area locked down with combo spam. No reason to push into there. You're just going to get nailed. Ooh, Satan takes a shock primary, 45 damage. Can both players showing respect?
Enoch's doing a pretty good job keeping lockdown on this shock. He knows that, you know, if he allows the shock to fall into Satan's hands, it's going to end badly for him.
Takes another sniper, though. Satan's sticking with those snipers. Players jockeying for position, looking for each other. Ooh, Enoch tags him in the butt. Taking what he can get. Stock primary. Switching over to Satan's Dildo now. Both players about even in hell. Oh.
Sid's definitely doing some interesting things. He knows that Enoch's going to get that belt.
Ooh, big combo. Little exchange here. And Enoch takes the first kill. Ooh, Satan looking for that big goo. Ooh. Gets headshotted though. Pay for your crime. How dare you try and shoot me with me? Oh yeah.
Remorse is definitely a map where things can quickly spiral out of control because it's a spawn rape map.
We're definitely seeing that. A couple bad spawns for Satan. He was in bad position with you know, not really a powerful weapon. Enoch landing a sniper, going towards the belt, looking for the prediction combo. Gets some chip and finishes off 4-0. Enoch starting to pull away again. Plenty of time left though, 12 minutes.
Satan was getting a little bit desperate there.
Combo. Oh, misses the air combo, but still good damage on that first combo. Gets the direct rocket.
Very
no
nice.
cure for direct rockets, yes. And Enoch's got a 5-0 lead again.
At this point, I'd say that Satan probably should just start running, like, any chance he gets. He knows, you know, we know that Enoch's just gonna keep pinning him down every which way he can.
What I can say from watching these three matches, it looks like Enoch was better prepared for these matches. Right. Satan has been on his heels the last three maps basically all day. You know, and last map we watched, you know, he did some big prediction damage, but just didn't rush in to finish. Oh, and he gets a kill. All right, Satan's on the board. Dudes, I'm jacking off, says Satan. Well, that's nice. Thanks for sharing that, sir. We really appreciate that.
Satan's over here finally gets the shock rifle. Is that the first time he got shocked, or am I just imagining things?
I'm not sure. This has been pretty frenetic so far. But yeah, Satan has been kind of on the defense all these maps. And, you know, maybe it was a good thing, maybe it wasn't, but, you know, if you know that your opponent is hurt, you really got to try and finish him off, or at least keep tabs on him so that you're within range to do some damage and punish him when he tries to recharge his health. Uh-oh. Enoch takes a direct rocket in the air and finishes off with a combo from Dildo. You just got Dildo. Okay, we're going to have another exchange here. Can Dildo convert? Get a spawn kill.
Satan says we're getting out of here. There's a belt getting ready to spawn.
Yes, sir. Being smart. Shooting some spam. Ooh, Enoch with a couple pretty rockets, but they only do minimal damage.
Took quite a bit off that belt.
Yeah. Let's see what Satan's up to. Oh, we got an exchange here. Satan not getting the rockets that he wanted. Looking to squeak that combo through there, but Enoch's moving off. Okay, trying to look for that air rocket, not happening because of the combo. Enoch again moves off. Satan looking for that prediction, not really pursuing much, which I respect, because I tend to over-pursue people and it gets me killed. So, I respect that. Satan putting some combos, nothing happening. Enoch's on the belt. What's the spawn time? I think he picked it up.
Pretty soon.
I think he just picked it up, actually. Ooh, little exchange there. Both players doing some pretty good damage. Oh, crap. I just lost my hood.
Almost got away from that flak. Although the spawn allows him to get the 50 armor, which is okay. Also allows him to get his own shock rifle back. I will say this, a lot of times I don't see Enoch picking up the other player's weapon, which a lot of times can prevent, you know, from spawn rate from ensuing. Which, you know, is something that just has to happen on a map of this scale. Like, you have to spawn rape on a map like this.
Well, spawn kills are always key. You know, it's like a little bonus. Ooh, kill from Enoch, 2-7. Following Satan here, he's again behind. I mean, last map we watched, he basically won because Enoch suicided twice. His aggression level's pretty low. I think he's a little afraid of Enoch. Would you say so?
I probably have to say so. I mean, Enoch's been hitting some really good shots. He's been cutting him off in every which direction.
Yeah, Enoch's been pretty much dictating these maps.
Oh, almost got taken out with a combo there.
Yep.
Satan's only real defense there was a rocket launcher.
Well, you gotta go with what you got in your hand. Weapon switching slower in UT3, so if you switch at the wrong time, it could cost you. Both players sitting on that belt. Enoch moving off smartly, knows he's got a 5-point lead. Remember you have a lead. You don't have to fight. Satan sitting on the belt, Enoch coming up. Pulling out the link. Good thing to do when your opponent's in mid-air. Oh no, Satan moves up again. Hold the position
smoked out, basically. Oh, this is not good. Enoch managed to get that belt, no problem at all, and then also stole the 50 armor.
Yeah, pushed him right off that position. Just burned off his health and pushed him away.
Hey, you.
Hey there.
You. Hey, you.
Oh, we have a guest.
Welcome, guest.
I'm more than a guest. I am completely inserting myself.
Awesome.
Well, welcome. You want to help us shoutcast this demo? We're actually shoutcasting games right now, Steve.
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve from the internet.
Hello.
Steve.
Welcome, Steve. We're watching the final round between Satan's Dildo and Enoch 84 in the Galaxy Gaming Community Summer Tournament 1v1. And right now, Enoch 84 is up 8-2 on Satan's Dildo. I am 9-2. Sorry, I misspoke. Enoch dictating things. Okay. I'm following Mr. Dildo. Yeah, once again, Enoch dictating the pace of the match, and Satan not being aggressive when he probably should be.
Is that a pun?
Hope so. That's what we're here for.
I don't know, I didn't catch it. I was actually in the moment, man. I'm watching the match. This is crazy. Cats and dogs marrying each other. Total bedlam. We got an exchange. Little bank flat from Enoch. Ooh,
Satan knows
more
at this
air
point
flash.
he needs to use something effective, and bar rifle seems to be his only ticket.
If whatever works, you know, I mean, it's just about momentum at this point for Mr. Dildo. He needs to make up 7 kills in 5 minutes and change. So he needs to make something happen. You got to start producing when the clock. You know, it's hard to fight your opponent and the clock. So.
Oh man, these shock primaries, they are just
Yeah,
they are killing.
He's
That is something Enoch is known for.
Enoch looking to convert. Satan gets away with undamaged. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Also, I guess it's worth pointing out that Enoch's aim has really improved as of late because he picked up Sensei, the SteelSeries Sensei mouse, and that seems to be a really popular mouse amongst professional players right now. So you can really tell, like, his aim is just, you know, landing those shock primary shots, landing those sniper shots.
He's got his settings set up good. It's comfortable for him. Oh, nice prediction rockets. Don't hit, but they were darn close.
Enoch says, "Get this bio out of here. I don't need this in front of me."
Satan picking up the sniper, waiting on a shot.
You know, for
Not
being a small
happening.
map, the weapon layout is actually not that bad because when Enoch is able to get the shock rifle, Satan is able to counter that and get the sniper. So definitely some good weapon placement on this map, you know, for it being very small.
If you do say so yourself.
I do.
An exchange here. Oh, Satan looking very weak, and again turns his back on his opponent and catches the flak bank off the wall.
Was that his own flag or was that Enoch's flag?
Oh, I think it was his own flak. Yeah, he lost the point. How about that? I thought it was Enoch that got the kill, but you know, hey, kudos to Satan. He controls his own destiny. He is the master of his own fate. He says, "No, Enoch, you shall not kill me today. No point for you."
Also says, "I will control this 50 armor at all costs."
Yes, even if it gets me killed, because I love the 50.
Yeah, that belt is really critical on this map.
Ooh, Enoch gets another kill and he's right on top. Oh, Satan calls GG with 3 minutes to go. 11-1. And that's that. Satan calling GG. Obviously on tilt mode. Enoch dominating all 3 of these maps, really. Edges the tiebreaker, says Nova's.
Yep.
Well, we already know what happens there.
Yep, we casted these out of order, but that's okay. We won't make that mistake again.
Yeah, we could totally make that mistake again.
So let's go ahead and talk about that for a second here. I mean, I think Enoch really had those games in hand because you know, he practices a lot. He plays in Beer Drinkers public, you know, deathmatch server. Satan, he is keeping an eye on Unreal Tournament 4, so he's really out of practice. Normally, he would destroy Enoch, I'd say. Like when he's on top of his game, Satan is, you know, he's definitely a player to fear. And I'd say one of his best maps was Pure, and I guess Enoch knew that, which is why why he probably vetoed that map. And I guess it was good that Satan was able to land a win on Deep. That way, you know, we could go into tiebreaker map.
Yeah. I would say that Enoch dominated all 3 maps. He was definitely dictating the pace.
Right.
Wasn't Satan's best performance. He looked really flustered in terms of movement at times. Like I said, you know, pet peeve of mine, turning your back on your opponent when there's still a live line of fire. If there's a line of fire, you need to be looking at that, because if you're not, you know, covering that line of fire, or, you know, there's potential damage lost there. You could sneak a sniper shot or just anything, just shoot anything along it just to get your opponent moving out of there. Right. And he gave up probably a lot of damage and maybe took a few flank shots in the process.
Yeah, Satan, you know, that was his biggest problem. He didn't know the maps because he didn't practice.
Yeah,
and he was turning his back like way more. Like, I'm actually surprised. Like, even if you don't even though you don't know a map, you probably shouldn't turn your back. You know what I mean? Like that's just not the wisest move, especially if you're trying to, you know, win a tournament. So definitely don't turn your back. Just kind of feel it out. Like, you know, avoid strafing backwards if you know if you can avoid it. which means you'll be
Yeah.
running towards the enemy more often than not. But if that's what
Well,
you got to do, that's what you got to do.
You know, one thing you could tell, I mean, not having good map knowledge, you know, it's gonna mess up your comfort level. You could tell that Satan's comfort level with the movement. And normally, if you're strafing backwards, if you're walking backwards, you can read the walls around you and do a wall dodge and at least, you know, get out of a touchy position on the map. But if you're not familiar with the map, then you're not going to feel comfortable with, you know, you're going to want to turn around and look where you're going. And you could see that his lack of map knowledge and awareness, that's probably why he was doing that, because
Right.
he didn't know where he was going. He didn't know that he could just jump and do a back wall dodge.
Right,
and
especially on Edge,
be away.
where you saw him trying to do the same jump pad jump up to the window over and over and over. He eventually figured out how to do it. The key is to do a wall dodge into that window. But if you don't know the map, then you don't know to do that. But you could definitely tell that Satan is a very skilled player, because I mean, even though Enoch is practiced and has, you know, like ridiculous aim, Satan was doing correct counters to things. Like, you know, when he couldn't pick up the belt, he was hoarding you know, weapons and files and 50 armor.
Well, you gotta take what you can get.
Right, so he's definitely doing the right things. It's just when you're out of practice, you can't really effectively land those kills that need to be game changers.
Yeah, it was an okay match. I mean, Satan had his opportunities, didn't capitalize, and let Enoch get out to that big lead in the two maps that Enoch won. And anytime, you know, as I said, you got to battle the clock as well as your opponent, then things get difficult. And Enoch knew that. You could see him just playing smart, backing off, trying to get Satan to come forward into a bad position, and, you know, just eating up that clock, and that becomes your worst enemy when you're behind. So, all in all, not a bad match, but dominant performance by Enoch for sure.
Yeah, have to agree with you there. And this isn't the end for Satan's father either, because we have a losers bracket in this tournament.
Sure.
So he will be moving on to the losers bracket, and I believe he's facing me next. So we'll see how that goes.
You loser.